Welcome to Raising Our Voices on 3CR on 855 on your AM dial. I'm James. Today in the studio we have...
Jamie.
Where are you from?
Speaker Alexandra.
What is your issue about?
Public transport.
How can public transport be improved?
They need to get more trains.
What's wrong with the buses?
They're not very good.
Can the buses be improved?
If they had more ramps.
Thank you.
That's all right.
I have in the chair here in the studio with me Julie Brassington.
Hi.
Hi. So what's your issue today, Jules?
It's better rights for parents with a disability to keep their children and have more support to keep their children.
And I think there should be a lot more people who should get support with parenting.
I agree. But they're saying that there's no support for parents once you've lost your children. That I reckon is unfair.
But do you think there should be support that you could get?
Yes.
Well, thank you for that, Jules.
My name's Maria, and here in the studio we have Gabrielle. Gabrielle, what issue would you like to talk to us about?
I talk about taxi. We've got not enough taxi available, but we need for more to speedily to go using the taxi.
So you need more taxis. Where do you live?
I live in a place called Kyneton.
So in Kyneton.
Yes.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was a really, really great little grab of people from the Victorian Self-Advocacy Network being interviewed by some of the Raising Our Voices team. You were there, James?
Yes.
And Norrie and Rhea.
Yeah.
And that was a really great little workshop where we actually gave people who hadn't had a chance to raise their voices on radio the chance to have a go. And they were fantastic, weren't they?
Yes, they were. They were pretty clear.
Yeah, and had some fantastic issues to raise there, things that future shows maybe should cover here. But anyway, and that's one of the things we want to keep doing is bringing you more presenters with their issues, because that's what's great about independent radio. It gives a voice to the people who otherwise aren't going to get their issues heard.
That is true.
You're listening to Raising Our Voices on 3CR 8:55 AM.
My name is David Walker and I'm from Maul in Gippsland, and I know what's important for people with disabilities is looking after their own money without having their mum and dad looking after their money, and also buying things for themselves without having their mum and dad doing it for them. And if their mum and dad buys their clothes for them, they should be doing it for themselves instead of their mum and dad doing it for them, and people with disabilities having rights like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm James. Today in the studio we have...
Nola.
Welcome, Nola. Where are you from?
Alexandra.
And what area is that?
How can I put it? About a half an hour away from Seymour, roughly.
What is your issue about?
I like to get more transport on, actually, like the man said, get more transport for people who can't get in on trams and stuff, and see if they can lift maybe the steps up so it's more easier for them to get up, sort of thing. And number two, we need our footpaths badly fixed in Alexandra, badly.
Can they be improved?
Yes, I think so, but very much so. They need improving badly, a lot. Yeah, but also mainly transport, because hardly any of us have got a car and we've got to walk. And I thought if we can have a nice bus or something like that to get around, it'd be great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Glenn. I'm representing Mawara Centre in Warragul.
in Gippsland, and I represent from the Moora Advocacy Group. I'm here to raise the issue about the better transport, how to be very successful and get 2 railway lines between Bunyip and Longwarry, and like to see V-Line and PTV to send us a text if the train is late or delays on the service. I have seen V-Line and PTV half an hour later after the disruption and stuff like that.
I'm Maria, and this is Beck. Welcome to Raising Our Voices.
Thank you.
What's your issue, Beck?
Education and hospitals.
What would you like to say about education?
In the country where I come from, we used to have a TAFE, but it closed down. And I'd like to see it be reopened again because people in the country had to travel to either Warrnambool, Geelong or here in Melbourne to get education.
And that's not very good, is it?
No, it isn't. Not when you're paying our money to do TAFE courses.
And how about hospitals?
Well, if you had to get surgery done, operation done, you had to travel to Warrnambool because the Camperdown Hospital does not have surgeons.
That's not very good, is it?
No, it's not. Not when Warrnambool's 45 minutes from Camperdown.
Thanks for talking with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
My name's Brendan Cansman. I'm working from the New Wave in Morwell.
Oh, good. And what's your special issue today on public transport?
No, it's about people who haven't got no disability, who needs help and all that with houses and that with disability. People with disability need more houses to stay.
Good one. So you think there should be more houses rather than for people to live in?
Yes, I do. I reckon it should be better for people to live independently and all that and who got help instead of people in CRUs and all that as well who don't know their rights, and that they should be able to live by themselves independently.
And I think there should be. Do you think there should be more housing like that, as you suggested?
Yes, there should be more houses, as I suggested. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Thanks, Noah.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Well, now, would you like for your listening pleasure to hear some more of those fabulous voices of self-advocates out there?
I'm Maria, and here in the studio is...
John Slattery.
Which group are you representing today, John?
I've got a few heads, Reinforce and Amida, and myself with my wife.
What issue is important to you?
Transport, getting people out of workshops and into normal jobs, and severe disability people, getting them into workshops.
In the studio today we have
Matt.
Welcome, Matt. Where are you from?
I am from New Horizons in the eastern suburbs, located in Ringwood.
What is your issue?
Our issue is funding and a shortage of members.
What funding do you need and what is it for?
To keep self-advocacy groups running and encourage more members to join.
I'm James. In the studio today we have...
Christian.
Hello, Christian. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
What is your issue about and how can it help you?
Well, an important issue for me is actually to make sure that every person in society gets the opportunity to realize their full potential. and could be able to make a difference for themselves and for other people. And I'm talking about people with a disability here, but also I'm talking about everybody else in society.
Can it be improved?
Well, I think it can be done, but we do need the support from the government, from the private sector, and from the community at large to empower people and to create the opportunity that we all need in our lives.
Thank you.
And thank you for inviting me.
I'm Maria, and this is...
My name is Ben Langley, and I'm from Sisters Rock Self Advocacy Group.
What issue is important to you?
More people to live independently in the community, and also more jobs for people with intellectual disability also in the community.
What do you think would help people with disabilities live independently in the community?
I reckon they should set up like a little house sort of thing, sort of for the people to engage in the community, and also like little, like to help them to live independently in the community.
And what do you think would help people get jobs in the community?
More employment services for people with a disability, and also help by their carers to help them.
Thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm James. Today in the studio we have Matt.
Yes, I'm talking about tourist railways in Melbourne. I am a volunteer with a non-for-profit tourist railway located in Newport. I am been a volunteer for 2 years. I work on old steam locomotives, diesel locomotives and electronic locomotives. We are currently in a proposal of running old 1988 Red Wrestler carriages to Belgrave, a part of the $9 million upgrade to Puffing Billy. And we have all sorts of trains. We cater for charters, private. We also have old carriages from the Spirit of Progress and the Vinelander.
Do you do?
Okay, I help out with restoration of old locomotives, carriages, and other rolling stock. I also help out on the train when we run a train. During the West Coast Railways era, we used to run a train to Warrnambool with an old oil burner R711.
Thank you.
No worries.
Today in the studio we have
Adrian from New Horizons in Ringwood, and the reason why I've come here is because I want to speak is more access for people with disability and wheelchairs at the station where they can go through the gate.
What needs to be done?
Well, when they build the stations, they've got the access for the people to get through, but they need a wider one so that the wheelchairs can get the wheelchairs access to it through the station.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good afternoon and welcome to Raising Our Voices. My name is James. In the studio today we have
Janice Slattery.
Welcome, Janice. What is your issue about today?
Well, I'm from Reinforce, and I've got 2 issues, but the first one I would like to talk to you is about roundabout taxis, because there's a lot of taxis refusing to take people with disabilities, and they don't like these M40 cards because it's paperwork for them.
Do you think it should be improved?
Yes, I do.
I believe you had a second issue.
Yes, I have. My second issue is around transport. There should be better transport, no delays, especially when it's wet. That's it.
Can it be approved?
Well, at the moment, they're doing up some stations. They're improving the level crossings, which will make it better for people with disabilities. And, so hope they will improve better conditions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me today.
My name's Maria. What's your name?
I'm Jessica. I'm from Stawell. And I want to say something about more transport for Stawell. I really want Stawell to have traffic lights, more trains, more taxis, more buses. And that's all I can say.
What transport does Stawell have at the moment?
Stawell have trains at the minute, but I like to see more buses and a lot more taxis.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
You're listening to Raising Our Voices on 3CR 8:55 AM.
Okay, so just to explain those fantastic words from Matt and Jessica and Adrian came to you via the forum that we had recently for the Self-Advocacy Network, which is Victoria's collection of self-advocacy groups. They all come together now.
Yeah.
And there was a really great skills workshop just recently, and Raising Our Voices actually provided all the expertise of our team to give people a try at speaking up on radio.
That's true, yes.
That was a fantastic day, and it just shows that when people get together and share their skills, it's amazing what you can do.
Yes, you can. Welcome back to Raising Our Voices. I'm James. Today in the studio we have
David Walker.
Welcome, David Walker, to Raising Our Voices. What is your issue and what is it about?
I have a bit of a long issue. I want to see education for people with disabilities and rights for people with disabilities so that people with disabilities can have and do what they want. And I want to see people with disabilities, their parents, like their mum and dad, let them have and do what they want and have their rights and enjoy their life. And I want the government to let them have that too, and I want people with disabilities to be allowed in the community by themselves or with their own friends without getting hassled by teenagers that are on drugs, and I don't want to see that happen anywhere. I want people to go out and have a good time and be safe.
Can it be improved?
It can be improved, because we need education for people.
Thank you. Welcome to Raising Our Voices on 3CR on 855 on your AM dial. I'm James. Today in the studio we have
Beck.
Welcome, Beck. Where are you from?
I'm the representative for the All Abilities Self-Advocacy in the Southwest Vic.
And what is your issue about?
Transport.
And how can it be improved?
We are needing more trains in the southwest, and we are needing carriages that are accessible for all.
Tell us a bit more.
Well, the trains we got aren't accessible. They're very old carriages that are 30 years older, and we only have 3 services. So we are needing more services. Especially, also, we need more bus services as well. And they just need to update those trains. They're just very older. People in wheelchairs are forced to take taxis if they want to go. Say they want to go to Melbourne, they're forced to take taxis to come to Melbourne because the trains are just not. The trains are just not accessible.
What should be improved about it?
It just that they need to be upgraded. The train the carriages and the whole train just needs to be upgraded.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
My name's Maria. What's your name?
My name's Marlene. I live up in the country in a place called Kyneton. I was a self-advocacy group from Kyneton. We connect with Bendigo with Friends that have a Say conference. We try to go to their meetings once a month and putting our problems across with people with a disability, with transport, housing, employment, working, doing courses that we're interested in, voting, and we have troubles with when people are saying that with the trains that when they're running late or the conductors actually announce across the speaker at the station. They've got speakers in now that they have to get, if the weather's too hot, they have to run they have to get buses, so then they have to bring buses up from Southern Cross. So then that makes things get behind time. So people with a disability might have troubles trying to read a timetable, understanding timetables, a direction of knowing where to go.
Can I pick up on one thing that you were talking about? You talked about when instead of the train they put a bus instead, which sometimes that's actually makes it difficult for people because it changes the timetable and also means that people may need to get on at a different place. And which is actually very difficult for some people with disabilities. Can you think of a way that it might be able to be made easier?
Would there be a flyer, a news article that people with a disability would be able to understand that there is a problem with the train, so they have to get coaches in from a school bus, from using school bus or coach from a coach company. The other issue is that I would like to raise is that with people with a disability, when they're on a travel pass, we are asked if we would like to if we need extra assistance with getting off, getting on, help going places or a direction of where we are going. So
Thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.
My name is Norrie, and welcome to Raising Our Voices. And tonight we got in the studio...
Mary Ann.
Oh, well, welcome, Mary Ann, to Raising Our Voices. And what is your issue about today?
My issues about today is that I'd like to know how are people going to handle the animals on the street? Because there's too many dogs and cats and birds. And there's a lot of other animals that are out on the streets, all because humans don't care less about their pets. And they end up out on the street, and I want to know what's going to happen about them.
Well, then what would be your best idea to improve that?
Build a better place for them to be put, and people to find good homes for them, and not put them down because they do need a lot of love and a lot of attention. And some animals have been abused, and they need to be taught that they don't have to worry about it anymore.
It's very good. So I reckon they should go to good homes where people can look after them properly.
Yes, I think they should too.
Well, thank you for that. That's very good. And we'll now sign off now with a song from Raising Our Voices.
Thank you for helping me. Bye.
Well, that's all for Raising Our Voices, but stay tuned to 3CR next time on the second Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. This is Norrie signing off. Up next is Tamil Voices.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. This song's for all the people who've died in a nursing home. Oh, 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 oh. This song's for all the people gonna die in a nursing home. Oh, 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 oh. Tear down the wall, tear down the walls of the nursing home. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. This song's for the right to choose where we live. Oh, 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 oh. This song's for the right to decide how we live. Oh, 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 oh. Tear down the walls, tear down the walls of the nursing home. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Take off your white coat, strip yourself and bow. Can't you see the justice coming at you now? It's coming down your road, it's coming down your street, it's coming for your kids. They're gonna hate you if you don't act now. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. This song's for the right to choose your partner in sex. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. This song's for the right to decide what you're gonna do next. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Tear down the wall.
Thanks, Johnny Crescendo. Tear down those walls.